Crown Jewel 2023 is this Saturday, and it's shaping up to be one of the most stacked premium live event cards of the WWE's calendar year so far. Because not only does it have major names on the show like Roman Reigns, an incredibly popular LA Knight, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, John freaking Cena, but it feels like these are all matches that are going to have major implications in WWE storylines and storytelling for the foreseeable future. And that's refreshing because for the most part, Saudi Arabian shows have just sort of felt like filler arcs in the world of professional wrestling. It didn't matter what happened at Saudi shows, but it feels like if you miss this Saudi show, you might be missing one of the most important shows of the entire year. So today we're going to be predicting who's going to be winning every single one of the matches at WWE Crown Jewel 2023. And hey, as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring that bell for notifications if you're a wrestling fan. I'm confident you're going to fall in love with this channel because we upload daily wrestling content. I also want to invite you to my live stream, twitch.tv/SantiZap, for this Saturday during Crown Jewel, where we're going to be watching it together as a community. So if you're looking for some wrestling friends to watch Crown Jewel with, go ahead and join us at twitch.tv/SantiZap. The link is in the description of this video. All right, let's jump into it then. Let's start predicting. So we're going to be starting off with Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest in a singles match. And I'm purposely starting off with this match because on paper, it's weird that this match even exists. It feels like it's just sort of forced and shoehorned onto this show, but I think it's to set up bigger things to come later on the card. Because when you look at things like, why is Cody Rhodes having a one-on-one match with Damian Priest? His feud has not been with Damian Priest, it's been with Judgment Day as a tag team for the tag titles. So why isn't this just a tag titles rematch? It seems a little bit odd, and it feels like they just sort of forced this match so that Cody Rhodes could be on the show, so that we can have some of the biggest superstars, of course, in the entire business be part of Crown Jewel. But it also feels like the whole purpose of this is so that they can have Damian Priest in the building for something later on to happen. Because realistically, when you look at this card, they don't need Damian Priest in a singles match here. In fact, the WWE is having a house show immediately after Crown Jewel in Rochester, New York, that has the likes of Gunther in it, Charlotte Flair, and other major WWE superstars. And to me, it feels like, based on storylines and everything that's going on, Damian Priest probably would have been better suited for that house show than this show in Saudi Arabia. Unless, of course, the whole purpose is to have Damian Priest in the building, again, for something else that's going to happen. But here's the thing, I just don't see Cody Rhodes losing back-to-back major matches to members of the Judgment Day. He already lost the tag titles to them, and I just don't see him losing this major marquee match on such a large show and such a large scale at Crown Jewel to Damian Priest. I just don't see it, especially if the purpose of Cody Rhodes is to build him up to be the person to potentially contend against Roman Reigns at this upcoming WrestleMania. I don't see him taking back-to-back major losses like this. And pretty much all of Damian Priest's major wins and basically his entire hype over the last couple of months has just been in tag matches with Finn Balor. So I just don't see him winning this against such a major star like Cody Rhodes in a singles match. I just don't see it happening. So I'm going to be taking Cody Rhodes in this, but we're not done with Damian Priest yet. In fact, let's just immediately move on to the match that I think he's going to be playing a part in Seth freaking Rollins, who is going in as the World Heavyweight Champion, taking on Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. I know on paper this is a one-on-one match between Seth and Drew, but this entire storyline has also had the ever-looming presence of Judgment Day, more specifically Rhea Ripley, at hand. So in one way, shape, or form, I see the Judgment Day getting involved. And what I foresee happening is that these two fellas are going to have a fantastic 15 to 25 minute match, a great back and forth, and the Judgment Day is going to come out, and we don't know who they're there to help, because Rhea Ripley has been having these conversations with both Drew and with Seth Rollins. So they're both going to be left in the ring wondering, why are they here to help you? They're not here to help me, blah, 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 blah. And in some sort of confusion in all of this, instead of them coming out to help either of them, they're out there to help Damian Priest cash in. Because like I said, it's just weird that Damian Priest is on this card, a card where he is the only one that feels out of place. And I think he's just here to finally cash in. And every single premium live event, I have been predicting a cash in and I've been wrong. And I think this is it. I think we finally found the place for the cash in. And you know what? Saudi Arabia is an appropriate place for this cash in to take place because the World Heavyweight Championship was minted and presented to Seth Rollins at the last Saudi show at Night of Champions. So it's kind of poetic and it kind of makes sense for him to lose it at another Saudi show. And any time that Seth Rollins is involved in a potential Money in the Bank cash in, the question always has to be asked, is this going to be a triple threat match, or is he going to cash in after the match to make it another, traditional one-on-one cash in? I have a feeling that it's going to be a triple threat match. So in terms of who's going to win between Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre, I'm going to throw a curveball and I'm going to say neither of them. I think that this is all a setup to have Damian Priest finally cash in and have his version of the heist of the century. I think Damian Priest is walking out as your World Heavyweight Champion. But again, I've also predicted this the past 3 premium live events and I've been wrong. So again, take this with not just a grain of salt, but an entire truckload of salt, okay? Next, we have Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler versus Zoe Stark versus Raquel Rodriguez in a fatal 5-way match for the Women's World Championship. I think that this could be a sneaky good match. I think that this has all of the potential to be one of the best women's matches of the year when you look at the talent that's in place. I know a lot of you, and including myself, don't love Nia Jax, but we have women in here that are strong enough, that are dominant enough to realistically be able to have a good physical match with the likes of Nia Jax, like Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez. Their whole shtick is that they're strong, badass, powerful women, and I think that they are a great match to be the ones that take out Nia Jax. I'm not expecting this to go on for 20 plus minutes, but I am expecting this to be a fun, fast-paced car wreck. I want to see a lot of physicality in this match. When you look at the women that are in here, this should be one of the most physical, bruising women's matches of all time. I know some people are predicting the likes of Jade Cargill to maybe make her presence known in this match, but I don't see that happening just yet. I think it's going to be a clean win by Rhea Ripley here. Well, maybe not necessarily the most clean. I'm sure at some point Dominic Mysterio is going to get involved, but I see Rhea Ripley winning this. At this moment in time, I just don't see Nia, Shayna, Zoe, or Raquel being world championship material, especially taking the championship from a super popular champion as little as she performs in Rhea Ripley. So I feel pretty confident about this one. I'm going to be picking Rhea Ripley to retain the Women's World Championship here. Let's go to one of the matches that I'm most excited for, and that is Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul for the WWE United States Championship. And I've been a major fan of this decision. I love that they have Logan Paul chasing after the United States Championship, a championship that has felt a little bit insignificant and irrelevant over the last several months. No disrespect to Rey Mysterio, but that championship has done nothing for him, and he's done nothing in terms of elevating that championship. I really think that the United States Championship needs a change of scenery altogether. And I think that there is no better change of scenery than Logan Paul. I love the idea of having him carry this championship wherever he goes for his media appearances, for all of his podcasts, for all of his videos. I love it. I think he's a great choice to be the next WWE United States Champion. My only concern is whether or not he's only going to appear once every 3 months like he's currently doing so with his current deal in the WWE. It'd be a little bit of sour grapes if we're only seeing the United States Championship be defended, whenever there's a major show a la Roman Reigns. But something tells me that there's more at play than just him making one-off appearances like he's been doing. I think that if he does win the United States Championship, that we're going to be seeing pretty regular Logan Paul appearances on Friday Night SmackDown and on monthly PLEs. But I think the reign of terror of Rey Mysterio is finally going to come to an end. I think it's time to take the title off of him, and I want to see it on Logan Paul. Logan Paul is winning this. Some sort of chicanery too, maybe brass knuckles again, maybe Jake Paul gets involved, maybe KSI gets involved, but I see Logan Paul walking out as your new WWE United States Champion. Hell, I already mentioned Dominic Mysterio getting involved in the Rhea Ripley match. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets involved in this match as well to be the one that helps Logan Paul win the championship. Next up, we have Io Sky versus Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's Championship. And dude, doesn't it feel like Io Sky has just been on the clock in terms of when it's her time to lose this? Because I keep thinking every other week, every other PLE, PLE that she's gonna lose this championship, but she keeps getting away with the title, and I love it, and I would love to see that continue, but I'm having a tough time seeing Bianca Belair not winning this, if I'm being honest with you. Io Sky has already demonstrated that she can't win these matches unless Damage Control gets involved. So if Io Sky does win, it is gonna be some sort of involvement with Damage Control over and over and over again. And it's worked in terms of helping retain against Asuka, against Charlotte, and a triple threat against Asuka and Charlotte, but I just don't see it working against Super Bianca Belair. I don't think that Damage Control is going to be enough. I think that there might be another major appearance that could prevent Bianca Belair from winning this, because I still think that there is a story to tell between Io and Bayley. I think that ultimately that's where they're going to come to head, and that's where Io is going to lose this championship. So although I can't quite pinpoint how Io Sky is going to win this, maybe Charlotte gets involved. I don't know. Maybe this is where Jade Cargill makes her presence known. I don't know, but I'm just seeing a vision of Io Sky somehow retaining here, as she has continued to defy the odds and continues to retain time after time after time. And I think she's going to retain here again. So I'm going fingers crossed, although I think it's the bad choice. I think the safe choice is to go with Bianca Belair. I have fingers crossed that one of my favorites, Io Sky, is going to retain here. I'm going to pick Io Sky, although that's my wild card choice. Next up, we have the greatest of all time, John Cena, taking on Solo Sikoa. And seeing this match card just makes me smile, because it just reminds me of the John Cena versus Umaga match card for the Royal Rumble all those years ago. It's like the soul of Umaga has come back to haunt John Cena. I love it. Look, the story for this has not really been the story of John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. It's been an internal battle for John Cena of whether or not he still has it, whether or not he can still hang, whether or not he can justify the moniker of greatest of all time. This is John Cena's tale. And because it's John Cena's tale, I don't see him losing. I think John Cena is going to beat Solo Sikoa, and I think that we might see some shades of 2010 Super Cena here. They've also been making just too much of a fuss about how he hasn't won a singles match in years, and I think that this is going to be the monkey off his back. I think that John Cena is going to win clean over Solo Sikoa. And I know that some people are going to be like, oh my god, he's burying Solo Sikoa. No, stop. John Cena is above that now, okay? John Cena can do whatever he wants. You can get put over by John Cena in a win or a loss. I frankly believe that at this point you can be more over losing to John Cena than beating John Cena. Just look at Austin Theory. Beating John Cena didn't really do anything for him. I think that Solo Sikoa, in terms of his future path, I actually think that he's better off losing to Cena here. And there's lots of great examples of being put over in a loss when you're losing to a mega legend like the likes of John Cena. I think Solo Sikoa is going to be just fine taking this loss, but I think John Cena needs that magical win to help finish this story arc of his internal battle and demons as he tries to figure out whether or not he can still hang in this business or not. Plus, come on, I want to see a John Cena win. I know you want to see a John Cena win. We like John Cena now. I know that I've liked John Cena my entire life, but now the ones that have hated John Cena, I know you like him too. He's a super likable guy, and we want to see him win. John Cena's taking this one. And let's wrap this up with the main event of the evening. We have Roman Reigns taking on LA Knight for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. A match that creeped up on us incredibly fast. I think a lot of people were not expecting the LA Knight rise until maybe Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, maybe WrestleMania, but the LA Knight rise just was so fast that no one could have predicted it would have elevated to this point, to this crescendo, this quickly, that it warranted a match between Roman Reigns and LA Knight this quickly at this PLE. But my God, man, is LA Knight ever over? I haven't seen somebody this over since 2014 Daniel Bryan. It's been such a long time. And even though it's been that long since we've seen somebody as over as LA Knight is today, it feels entirely unique. It doesn't feel like this is the LA Knight movement. It doesn't feel like it's a replication of the Daniel Bryan movement. It feels new. It feels different because LA Knight, he isn't an underdog. He doesn't have the feeling of an underdog. He's just the guy that hasn't had a chance yet. And now he's getting that chance because of his rise of popularity, because the Daniel Bryan story was the David versus Goliath. But I don't know, man. I can't put my finger on it, but LA Knight doesn't feel like a David in this story because he has the personality of a Goliath. And it's so unique to see Roman Reigns on his heels, not against a typical WWE main event megastar with the likes of, like the Seth Rollinses of the world, the Cody Rhodes, the Drew McIntyres. He's on his heels against a guy that a year and a half ago was playing an agent to supermodels. So everything about this story just feels so unique. It feels so organic. And I'm so happy that LA Knight is getting this opportunity on such a giant stage. That being said, no disrespect to the Saudi Arabian audience, but it still feels like that's the wrong audience for LA Knight. It feels to me like the right audience for an LA Knight would have been Chicago at Survivor Series. But hey, you know what? You have to strike when the iron is hot, and the iron is steaming right now with how popular LA Knight is. You had to pull the trigger. I understand it. I just think that a stateside audience or a European audience would have been better for LA Knight. Look, I've been hyping up LA Knight this entire time, but I don't think that he's winning, man. I don't see a world where Roman Reigns loses this historic streak to LA Knight. As much as I love LA Knight, I think a lot of people think that I'm some sort of LA Knight hater. I love him, but I don't see it. Do you see it? I don't see it. Frankly, I really don't. I think this is going to be your typical Roman Reigns victory, though. I think you're going to have Solo Sikoa get involved. I think that you're going to have Jimmy Uso get involved, Paul Heyman get involved. Who the hell knows? Maybe Ava Raine gets involved because we saw Paul Heyman talking to her backstage. That's The Rock's daughter, in case you didn't know. I didn't even consider The Rock making an appearance, but I don't think that that's happening. But I just don't see LA Knight winning this. I think it's going to be super close. I think that there's going to be a lot of insanely close pinfalls where we think LA Knight's almost got it, but Roman Reigns is he's Thanos. He's inevitable. Roman Reigns is winning this, and he's going to continue this streak all the way through to WrestleMania season. So that's it. Again, to quickly recap, I'm taking Cody Rhodes. I'm taking Damian Priest to win between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. I'm taking Rhea Ripley, Logan Paul, John Cena, and Io Sky. But again, if you want to have some friends to watch Crown Jewel with, make sure you come over to my stream, twitch.tv/SantiZap. We're going to be watching it live together. Link in the description below. That's it. I'm done. Get out of here.